This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Tom, are you now trying to brush your teeth left-handed? Evidently, that's what J.J. McCarthy does each and every night. I had never heard of that, going the opposite hand. Are you going to try that at some point this week?
Good morning, guys. And I did not hear that about him, but every once in a while I'll do something left-handed. I'll write left-handed just to give it a try. Not too good at it. And I did see that clip of the vanilla gorilla walking into the stadium. That was lovely.
It was pretty cool. So, Tom, I'm pretty standoffish about Michigan's national championship. I don't like it. I feel like that our society at times pushes and condones cheating, which is exactly what Michigan did at points, not just this year, but leading up to this national championship. How do you feel about the Wolverines claiming the national title?
Well, I don't think you want me to go into a long spiel about society today, so I won't do that.
No, please do.
So I won't do that. But I will say that I've gotten over it. And, yeah, they got busted, and, you know, Harbaugh had a couple of different suspensions this year. But, you know, I don't hold that against the guys so much. And I thought they schemed really well. I mean, I went through all the details about how they come back against Alabama and, you know, how they did that. And so I'm over it. And I just rue the fact that Washington had so many chances. They had the open touchdown or midway through the second quarter that they just missed on. And you know that Penix and several of the guys are just going to, you know, just kind of be eaten up by the fact that they had so many chances to make big plays, open passes that Penix hit so many times, I'm sure. And I'm thinking of the 3rd and 5 or whatever, the pass to running back, just dropped it. And it was 20-13, and they could have driven down so many times. And you knew at some point when they kept not being able to convert third downs that Michigan would make them pay, and they did. So I just wish it was a more competitive national championship game. But I'm pretty over the fact of what happened with Michigan and all that. They were the best team in the country this year.
Yeah. Tom, as a Falcons fan and a college football fan, there may be some lines crossing here. There's some reports, I don't know how substantiated they are yet, that Kirby Smart will at least listen to the Falcons about their opening. How would you feel as a Falcons fan, and how would this change the face or the complexion of the SEC if Kirby Smart did indeed, and I think it's a stretch, but if he did take the leap and start take a look at the NFL and the Falcons?
Yeah, I saw that. It looks like Lane Kiffin is pushing for it. He's just having a ball on social media. And as a Falcons fan, I think he would do a better job than Arthur Smith. But we've seen so many very successful college coaches, including Nick Saban and Steve Spurrier, two of the best that ever did this, just not succeed in the pros. And I think it has something to do with a level of control maybe you have over college guys versus pro. I don't know. I wasn't inside either one of those organizations to say why did they not win, but it just hasn't transferred successfully from college to pro. I would think Georgia would go maybe after Dan Lanning very quickly. I'm not sure what Georgia would do, but it would certainly change the dynamic at the top of the SEC, because even though Georgia's been recruiting well, that doesn't mean the next coach will do the same as Kirby did, which was some of the most excellent recruiting we've seen in college football history. I think the Falcons would be a better organization for it, and I certainly don't want them to hire Bill Belichick. I just think that's a step back.
Yeah, I just really can't see Kirby Smart. I think you're right on the money with the kind of control. The head coach is, you know, got the ultimate authority, it seems like, in a college program. You're about 3rd or 4th in charge, it seems like, in most cases in the NFL. I can't figure out what the motivation would be for Kirby Smart to seriously consider an opportunity in the NFL right now.
Exactly. He's kind of sitting on a throne right now. I mean, Georgia didn't win it this year, but they might have been the best team. They just had a bad game against Alabama for sure. And you want to talk about control? How about Dennis Allen? I mean, the players basically said, no, we're not going to take a knee. We're going to score a touchdown. And Jameis Winston, you know, said the whole team wanted that, and Dennis Allen had to apologize to Arthur Smith, who's now been fired, and so that's the way it goes in the NFL. You get crazy stuff.
Speaking of crazy, we're talking with Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Whole Hog Sports on the McCarty Daniel Hotline. Possibility of John Gruden coaching that Saints offense, that he's apparently being vetted for that offensive coordinator role.
Wow, I would not like it because John Gruden is a very good, offensive mind. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that. But the Falcons and Saints, I guess it's a one-game difference in the all-time standings between those teams, and they don't like each other, and that was very evident in that last touchdown.
They hate each other, and it's I love when teams hate each other in the National Football League or really any sport because I think it juices up that rivalry. And we've got some teams and players that are pretty outspoken about one another. Tom, in your mind, what is the best playoff storyline this weekend outside of the NFL making us pay for Peacock to watch the Chiefs game on Saturday night?
There's a lot of great matchups. I like the Matthew Stafford going up against his old team and Jared. I mean, the trade, it's worked out for both teams. It's one of those rare instances where a major high-profile trade and the Rams go on and immediately win a Super Bowl with a great team. And then now the Lions are in a better position, and Jared Goff's done a great job with them, and they're facing each other. But there's a ton of good storylines. I mean, right here locally, you got Matt Jones and the Cowboys and a lot of Cowboys fans around here against Bob Holt and the Packers. The Chiefs are in the playoffs, not playing well. It's kind of like the Eagles on the other side, not playing super well, although the Chiefs are playing better than the Eagles. And, I guess Miami's coming up here to Kansas City. And I like that the Browns are in the playoffs. Just kind of had a, under-the-radar type year, but a very good year. And D'Amico Ryan's a guy I covered at Alabama, has his Texans in the playoffs against the Browns. So that'll be one of the kind of underrated, should be good games this weekend.
Tom Murphy with us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Tom, let's shift gears to basketball as the Hogs drop to 0-1 in SEC play. I want to ask you a question here. It won't be hard for you to answer, but I'm going to make a point with the question. Who's the best basketball player on this team?
Who's the best basketball player on the team? Golly, is it?
Exactly. That's my point, is that you have to stop and think about it, is maybe the problem with this team.
Maybe it is. Like, who has the ball in a clutch moment? And we've seen Mark do that in some games. We've seen Battle do it. Devo looks like he's still trying to find what his role is. He did not have a good conference opener on the heels of having a good game against UNC Wilmington. It's got to be defense. I mean, they've got to start by limiting dribble drives. And we talked about that on this air, how Auburn was a great dribble drive team. They got to the hole so often and made layups or passed off for easy shots, and they just weren't getting stopped enough. And Arkansas shot more jumpers than they did, and you got to work a lot harder to get the layups, And so they've got a long way to go. But of all the reclamation projects we've seen Eric Musselman do with teams that didn't start well in the SEC, which has been every year he's been here, this one looks like it's going to be the hardest to turn it around. They've got to have more effort. And I've seen clips of a lot of plays where guys weren't giving good effort. And I think with him now, you either give effort or you're not going to get minutes. Yeah. And that's the way it needs to be.
Last year, if you'd ask 100 fans who the best player was, I think 80 would have said Anthony Black, and it's an easy answer. The problem is this year you don't have an easy answer, and I think that's really the root of the problem. It should be Trevin Brazile, but he just hasn't played to that level. I think the only way out of the soup here, the only way to get this thing back on track is Brazile's got to just step up, be the dog, and take this team and run with it. I mean, and so far we've seen no signs of that. That he's the best talent on the team. He's the most athletic. Tom, if he doesn't take this team and put him on his back, I don't think they're making the tournament.
Well, that's a great point, and I should have said him as well in my analysis of who could be the best, because he's certainly the highest projected NBA player, and he's got the talent. I just think, there's so much talent on the team that maybe he doesn't want to be the alpha male who, like, y'all ride this, and we've seen him pass up many a shot on the perimeter. He likes to play on the perimeter. He needs to get it done, and a lot of guys on this team do. That's for sure.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.